Come in, come in. How is everyone this evening? Come in, and join us here at the Baby's Booty. I am Eve, and I want to welcome you into our studio this evening. And it's super cold here. We got ice, we got snow, we got sleet, we got rain. I mean, how do you get all of those things at one time? Somebody please let me know. How is everyone this evening? Thank you for joining us today. Hi, So Crafty. How are you? Thank you for joining us this evening. How is everyone? Are you keeping warm out there? I'm trying, which is why I'm bundled up in in my little robe thingy that my kids bought for me for my anniversary. So I'm good and toasty at the moment. Marianne Reddick, good evening to you. Buddy McMillan, good evening to you as well. So Crafty says, just like here in Buffalo, you have me beat. You're used to all this snow, ma'am. I am not. So I wanted it to not do this mess out there. I have been cooped up all day. A little bit of cabin fever, not too much. But I've been enjoying the beauty of it all, but I'm ready for it to go. So on. Hello, hello. How are you, Patrick? Yes, you're right on time. Bright and early at 8 p.m. this evening, Eastern Standard Time. Jane Sublet, hello, hello. How are you? Miss Pamela, hello to you as well. And Miss Pamela Hawkins, hello to you. Debbie Kidd, my love, welcome as always. Thank you for joining us this evening. Jane Sublet said, your grandkids are so happy because of the snow. Well, they can have it. They can come and get some of mine too if they want it. Marilyn Ray, hello, hello. You're in North Carolina too. I hope you missed most of this hot food mess. Most of the area southeast of Charlotte, you know, pretty much got a lot of just rain, cold, wet rain. And I was like in a border area where it was snow for a little bit, then turned to sleet, which was like, okay, what was the point? I mean, if you're gonna snow, let it snow, not the sleet and ice part. It's like, oh my God. But I was inside, so I'm not gonna complain too much. The dogs, on the other hand, they weren't hearing it, so they're in the house right now, driving me absolutely insane. Let's see, DTF23, hello from Dawn in Texas. Well, hi Dawn, how are you? Thank you for joining us from Tejas. Brenda Scott, hello. Miss Social Deb, hi Miss Social Deb. The Cowboys game just in time. Well, awesome. Did they win? I don't know anything about it. I don't even know who they were playing. I don't fool with any of the sports, really. People think I'm crazy because I don't root for much of anybody. Actually, I don't root for anybody. But I tell folks the first NFL, NBA, NHL, or what's baseball? National NBL or whatever it is. Whatever team sends me a check, that's the team I'll root for. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have said that. That was horrible. Nancy Faust, hello from snowy Iowa. Well, we got a little bit of snow, not too much. Marilyn says Greensboro got about 10 inches. Wow. Good thing I'm not out that way. I'd really be a little bit on the sad side. Lorraine, hey love. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining me this evening. I thought about doing SVG tonight for you, but I didn't prepare in enough time, so I don't know that I'll be doing any vinyl tonight, but we might can talk about it a little bit, but I didn't prepare like I was supposed to, but I did think about it just for you. Pamela says, I got my new machine and I call it Skippy. Very discouraged. Oh no, is it skipping stitches? That's terrible. We don't want it to skip stitches. So what type machine do you have? Well, we need to ring the bell for Skippy to welcome Skippy in. Maybe that's what's wrong. Skippy was missing his bell ring. Let me know what type machine it is, love, so that we can help you avoid some of those skip stitches. All right. Esora, hello, hello. Rachel, hi. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Brenda Scott says, "Oh, Pam, I know, right? We don't want you to have unhappy embroidering. It's supposed to be happy embroidering. So let's see what we can do to help you out." Miss Debbie D, as Will says, "Hello, hello. How are you?" Janixia, hi. In Puerto Rico, the weather is pretty warm. Come down here, you'll enjoy it. I promise. I know I will. I enjoy anything Caribbean, man. I'm trying to tell you, I love the Caribbean. So, Miss Sylvia has been trying to get me to come to Puerto Rico for quite some time. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to get that together and fly down there and see you guys in sunny, beautiful Puerto Rico. So we'll have to make that work. Miss Lorraine, I swear, I'm gonna get it done. We're gonna have to get it done. And I've been doing vinyl shirts. Even though it's interesting, I kind of decided to kick it to the curb a little bit. We'll have to talk about that in detail later as to why I've decided to do that for the most part. But it's not because it's difficult, because it's not difficult at all. But that also goes in hand with the topic that we have on tap for tonight in reflecting. See, last week we discussed what plans you had upcoming for 2019, what you were looking at adding to your studios. Many said they were looking at doing vinyl, several sets sublimation, which I have a little bit of an interest in, not too much. Will actually does sublimation. He was planning some videos on sublimation. Some of you was looking at more like permanent vinyl, not so much the t-shirt vinyl, but adding vinyl to certain items. Well, what we want to do tonight is discuss what did you add in 2018, or what did you learn? What techniques did you pick up in 2018 that you feel helped your business? Because there could be someone in here who doesn't have a clue on what it is that you picked up on, and maybe it's something that they'll be interested in, right? So one of the things I picked up on in 2018 is vinyl. All right, and that's what I was just talking to Miss Lorraine about, because vinyl was a lot of fun. It really was. I wish I could have put the pictures up. Maybe I should have done that. I'll post it in the hoop group. I'll post the pictures of the shirts that I did for, let's see, I had a couple of folks that had one for a party this past weekend. Some shirts that they had done. I also have other shirts that I've been doing lately, trying to get folks together, I guess, for the holiday season. It was several different topics of shirts that I was doing, or themed shirts. So I wanted to show you guys how that worked and how the vinyl fit in with the business, because I already had a heat press. So why not go ahead and do vinyl when I expanded to rhinestones, which that's something else I added in 2018. So, but the vinyl had a catch to it that I wasn't quite planning on, and it's an annoying catch for me, right? So it may not be annoying to you, but it was very annoying to me. So we'll talk about that in detail here shortly. Sylvia Young, hello, hello. Contessa Harris, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Patrick says, I have started a new quilting embroidery project. It is a memory Christmas tree skirt. It lists the family name, individuals lost in the family embroidered, dates, etc., giving it to my in-laws. That sounds like a wonderful memorial gift. I'm pretty sure they will absolutely love it. That sounds great. Please be sure to post the picture so that you can share it with us and let us see it. Pamela says, Skippy is a brother 60 SE 625. Well, Skippy shouldn't be skipping, because the 625 is a pretty reliable machine. So we need to figure out why Skippy is skipping stitches, all right? And so usually when an embroidery machine skips stitches, a lot of times it's dealing with the bobbin, okay? Because you'll see the skip stitches on top, but not so much down below. So your bobbin seems to be having some issues. So we want to make sure that your bobbin is being installed correctly. We also want to be sure that the bobbin has been wound correctly. I don't know if you're using pre-wound bobbins or if you're winding them yourself. So those are some little things that we want to take a look at and make sure everything goes well with Skippy. But meanwhile, we need to ring the bell for Skippy, right, you guys? It's a new baby. And if anyone else has new babies in the group tonight in the chat, so please speak up, because I know one other person just got a new baby. She posted it in the hoop group, and we definitely want to ring the bell and get those new babies inducted into the hall of the hoop group fame, right? So let me grab my bell so that we can ring the bell for Skippy, a brother SE625, and hopefully he'll act right after this, right? Here's the bell. Woo! Congratulations, ma'am, on Skippy. Pamela, congratulations on your SE625. And let's see if we can't get Skippy to act right for you from now on, all right? So one of the things we'll talk about before the end of the show is trying to get your bobbin, making sure everything's cool with that. And also how to check your bobbin case as well, because that's actually really important. Because if you've made a misjudgment in something, or if the needle skipped, and if you've ever broken a needle, that's something else I would like to know before we start talking about Skippy and what Skippy got going on with them, right? Dar Smith, hey love, thank you. I appreciate the super chat. Wow, I will forever be grateful to you. I look forward to sharing my latest vinyl fobs, yes, and military grade tool bags with you. I learned how to digitize the husband's Krispy Kreme logo thanks to Eve. Now, I don't know about you learning to digitize that logo thanks to me, but I definitely want to thank you so very much for the super chat. That is phenomenal. I always appreciate the support to the channel. Thank you, Miss Dar Smith. And I really want to see that Krispy Kreme logo because I can't see the donuts. So I would love to see the logo and see how gorgeous it is with you stitching it out. Tony Collins says hello to us all. Little Miss Boutique says hello, hello. How are you, my dear? Thank you for joining us this evening. Miss Gloria says hello. This is Gloria from Mexico, Maine. Well, welcome, Miss Gloria. Hopefully you don't have much snow up there either, but I'm pretty sure you probably do way up there. But we got some horrible sleet here, and it messed up a lot of stuff in the area. Robin Bryant says, hello, Eve. I received my Hoop is a Group shirt. It's awesome. Well, congratulations, ma'am. Please make sure to take a picture so that I can see it. That will be for my personal records. Unless you want it posted in the group, I would love to see it. Brenda Scott says, what is the difference? What is the difference with what, Miss Brenda? I would love to know what you are asking for the difference of, because I'm trying to scroll and look and make sure of what we're discussing. Let me see. Dark Smith says, greetings and salutations. You learned to embroider thanks to Eve. Love you all. Busy but listening. Merry Christmas. Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. You say you're listening. Well, I appreciate you listening in. Tell the hubby that we said hi, by the way. Hopefully he's listening in with you. So Crafty says she added vinyl to the embroidery studio this year. Vinyl is a lot of fun. Again, there was a catch that I didn't count on, and we'll talk about that here shortly. So on says you got a PE 800 on Cyber Monday. No name and still in the box. Oh man, now it ain't fair to ring the bell for the PE 800 if it's still in the box. It can't hear the bell being rang. Come on, man, work with us. Congratulations, though. That PE 800 on Cyber Monday was an awesome deal. And actually, for the next couple of weeks after Cyber Monday, the deal on that thing was ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, at one point it even dropped below $500. So for all of you who was able to take advantage of that, I'm very jealous. I was going to get one, but then I was like, no. I'm trying not to expand the equipment but so much because I got a trick up my sleeve I'm working on in the background. But I do want to have my hands on one so that we can give it a breakdown and see how it works and be able to work you guys through it a little bit better. So hopefully that'll come in the near future after this next step that I have to take is taken. So, but we will still ring the bell for the PE 800 that's still in the box with no name. Congratulations, so on your PE 800. Congratulations on your new baby. You're gonna have to give your baby a name and let us know what the name is. Vivian Crosby, hello. Marilyn Ray says, I learned to embroider. Well, I am very happy to hear that, Marilyn Ray. We want to see some of the projects that you have planned with your newfound skill. PC6 Designs says, good evening, boss lady, Miss Eve. Well, good evening to you as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Maria says, hi, Eve. Hello. So-so-and says, I definitely need help. Well, that's what we're here for. If you have any questions, please let us know what they are. We'll try to address them here in the chats. Or if you don't want to ask them here, you're always more than welcome to join in on the hoop group at thebabiesbooty.com. And there you can ask all the questions that you need. You can also join in on the hoop group, and others in addition to myself are able to answer your questions if in the event that I'm not available to answer them for you. So please definitely look into that, because we want you to be able to get your questions answered. Carmi J says, hello Miss Eve and everyone. Hello to you too, my dear. Miss Bickup is in the house. She says, hey Eve and Baby's Booty crew. My alarm woke me up to catch you tonight, but I'm still late. It's all right. Can you believe my meds had me out from last night till now, and I'm still tired? Hubby said he wanted me to rest. Well, I'm glad he wanted you to rest, because if you're not feeling your best, then you definitely need to get plenty of rest and fluids, of course. Mr. Baby's Booty is at home sick right now, so I've been taking care of a big old baby over in the house. So that's another reason I've been like not too much cabin fever, being trapped in the house with the icy roads and stuff, because I'm having to make sure that he's okay. So hopefully he'll heal up really soon. I've been keeping him drugged. Been keeping him on some medicine, keeping that butt knocked out, and plenty of juice and lots of soup. So hopefully he'll be back on the grind soon, actually, because you know the men folks, when they get sick, they're big old babies. So let us see. Miss Sharon Blake. Hi Sharon Blake, how are you? Pamela says 2018 you added Miss Eve and Skippy. Well, I'm glad you added me so that we can get Skippy up and running like he's supposed to be. Vera Benjamin says good evening everyone. Good evening to you too as well. Dorothy Gaston, hello. Hashtag hoop group. Miss Dot here from the St. Louis. Well, welcome my love. Thank you for joining us this evening. Tony Collins says, I added LaBelle, a PE 800. Well, Miss Tony Collins, congratulations. Did you get him recently? Did we ring the bell for LaBelle? Let me know. Debbie D says, greetings to Miss Bickham. So definitely, I hope you caught that. Miss Pamela says, go Skippy. That is hilarious to me. I love the name Skippy. That is funny. Renee Boyd says, I'm learning my everything about my software and how to digitize. Awesome. I began taking lessons in late October, so it's still an ongoing process. I'm scheduled to be done after the new year. That's what's up, because I have been learning as I go with Wilcom Hatch. I took quite a few lessons. I still don't feel like I'm professional at it enough yet, but I do love doing it, and I do it well enough so that we can we haven't rung the bell for LaBelle. Okay, we'll definitely do that. But I don't feel like I know it enough to teach it or to sell per se my designs, but I have been doing some digitizing and I absolutely love it. I do digitize for myself. April Blending says, hey. Well, hey April, how are you? Will is in here. Hey everyone, I made it. How is everyone? We are fine, Will. Thank you for joining us this evening. Dar Smith says, yes ma'am, I did. One day when we break bread, I'll tell you all about it. This is my pleasure. Alrighty, Resure to you too, my dear. Thank you so very much. Debbie D says, hi Will. Hope you caught that. Barbara Nance says, hello everyone. Hey Miss Barbara Nance. Brenda Scott says, difference between sublimation and HTV. Oh, got you. Okay, the difference between sublimation and HTV is that sublimation is more of an imprinting of the ink, and the ink, and help me out with this, Will, the ink kind of like sublimates, or it transfers into the item, so it's more of a permanent bond of the imprint of the image to the item that's being done. Like for instance, this mug that Will has been selling for us. You can get a mug from Will. These are available. The one on his website has Sir McQuackins. It has We Hoop as a Group. And on the back side, it has Carolina Thread Place. The mugs are available for sale. And they are on his website, carolinathreadplace.com or either carolinathreadbox.com. Not 100% sure. Will put the link down there for us, please, sir. But this mug is sublimated. All right, so there isn't anything to scratch off on this mug. I can scratch it all I want, wash it in the dishwasher all I want. It's a very permanent bond, whereas with vinyl, I'm trying to think, do I have anything near me that has vinyl on it? Because I've been doing so much vinyl this week, it's crazy. But vinyl is pretty much like the t-shirts that you put your vinyl on, and it actually is like a thin layer of plastic or rubbery plastic, and it heats and melts to the shirt with the glue on the back, and it becomes not necessarily a permanent image on the shirt, and you layer the different colors to make the image. Whereas with this, there's no layering. It's just the one image. They heat it the one time, and the ink sublimates into the item with the image permanently put on there. So that's what the difference between sublimation and HTV is. All right, so the heat transfer vinyl is not permanent. There is actually an HTV remover liquid that you can purchase to take the vinyl off of a shirt or a hat or whatever it is that you might have messed up on, or whatever the case may be. But that's not the case with sublimation. Sublimation is a lot more expensive. Lot more expensive than HTV is. Okay, so that's another thing. That takes special inks. It takes special materials. Like, you can't just buy any white mug from Dollar Tree or whatever to sublimate on. It has to be a specific material in order to accept the sublimation. And as I mentioned prior to, Will be doing, or he intends to do, some videos on sublimation. He has some new blanks that are really cool that he wants to show the sublimation process on. So he's super excited about that, and that'll be coming up really soon on his YouTube channel, CarolinaThreadPlace.com. So definitely check him out on that. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, okay. Will had already answered it. Sublimation is transfer of dye to a blank. HTV is heat transfer vinyl. Now, there's also another vinyl that's not HTV. There's different brand names for it. Some people listed as Oracal 651. There's also another name. I can't think of what it is right now. But that vinyl is more like a permanent sticker, so to speak. So you can, and it's also available. Cricut sells it. It's not iron on type. It's adhesive. So those go on, like, you can't, the 651 you can put on mugs. You can put on glasses. That's what Justin and I did in the video a couple of weeks ago. Those type things you can, or signs on not billboards, but on doors and windows for shops and stuff. That also is another type of vinyl, but that's not heat that applied. That's adhesive. It has its own adhesive on the back. They have some that are semi-permanent, and they have some that are permanent, similar to like a window cling, so to speak, which isn't permanent. But then the ones that show the hours of a store, those are more permanent, right? So there are different types of vinyls out there. And then, of course, there's also the vinyl that we do embroidery with, which is a much thicker, like a canvas vinyl, that we make our key fob, hand sanitizer things, and key fobs and such out of. So vinyl is a huge project that you can use in your studio to expand and do a lot of different things with it. All right, but you have to know which niche you want to go into. You can go into all of them, but it helps to know what you're purchasing, so you don't go out and purchase the wrong thing. All right, let me see here. April says, my first time catching you live, so excited. Well, April, thank you. I appreciate you being here and catching us live. April says she just bought a Brother SE600. Awesome. Have you received your baby yet? And if so, have you named your baby? Angel says, hi all. Eve, Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you very much. Extreme newbie. Learning to make gifts for the family. Thanks to Eve. Well, hopefully you will learn and pick up on what you need to know to make what you need to give them the gifts that are going to be awesome. I know they are, so please be sure to post pictures in the Hoop group if you're not already a part of it. Miss Bickham says, tell Otis I hope you feel better soon. Give the family your best. I most certainly will. I most certainly will. He would love to hear that. Thank you. Miss Maria says, I was working on pot holders last night. I got a free poinsettia design from Anne the Grand. The bobbin thread showed up on the top. The bobbin stitching looked great, but all the bobbin thread showed up on top. Okay, so usually if there's a problem with the bobbin and it shows on top, usually there's a problem up top. Wait a minute, let me make sure I'm telling you right. Problem up top, bobbin showing. Okay, so what you also can do is to run the tension test. If you haven't had an issue prior to you doing those pot holders, all right, if everything was embroidering just fine till you started doing the pot holders, try to rethread your machine with the foot up, of course. Try fresh bobbin as well. All right, and then after doing both of those things, do a tension test and see how it stitches out. It very well could have just been maybe some kind of which way the thread got bound. Make sure that your thread has a clear path. It's not caught around your spool stick that the that the thread sits on up top. Make sure your bobbin is threaded correctly. Try a new needle. We learned about needles a couple of weeks ago, right? Sometimes those needles get nicked and you don't realize it right away, so that could be a problem as well. So try checking those 3 things. After you've done that and it's still not stitching correctly, and your tension test is still showing wonky or something like that, then it very well could be possibly the bobbin case that your bobbin sits in. If it gets nicked in any sort of way, it can catch the thread as it loops around to make your stitch. So there's a lot of different things. It's really difficult to troubleshoot a machine, but it helps to have those steps in place, which is something else we're working on. Got so many irons in the fire around here. I don't know which way is up or down anymore, but try those out, Miss Maria. Let me know. Keep in touch, please, after trying those things, and let me know which actually helps you. All right. Now, another trick I will tell you, it's a temporary trick. I mean, an extreme temporary trick. All right. You can only use this maybe to finish out one project to keep from stressing all the way out. And then after that, you really need to figure out what's going on and why your bobbin thread is showing on the top. But if you're doing a project, right, it's a really important project for whatever reason, you're doing a gift and you're in the middle of it and your bobbin thread is showing on the top, because usually our bobbin threads are white or black, depending upon which you choose to go with. But if your bobbin thread is white or black, try using the bobbin thread in the exact same color as what you're using on the top. If it's showing up, the bobbin thread is showing up on top, that means there's a problem, right? So you don't want to let it just keep going like that. But to finish out that project, you could temporarily use the exact same color that's on the top in the bobbin, and then it's going to stitch. And even if the bobbin thread shows on top, it's not really going to matter because it's the same color as the thread that's on top, right? So that's super temporary. Please don't continue to use it in that type of condition, but that is something, like, if you're just right towards the end of the project and you want to finish it out, try using the same color bobbin in the bottom and see if that helps temporarily until you finish the project, and then do your tension test and make your adjustments from there. All right. Miss Maria says help. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that helps. PC6 Designs, Eve, use a regular dust mask and add Vicks inside of it. Oh, neat. Now, see, I didn't think of that. I saw Vicks Vapor Rub at Walmart, and I was like, oh my God, they still sell this. I didn't know they still sold it. And I thought about buying it for him, and I was like, let me wait on that. So, but I did switch his medication to a different one because for years he's been using Theraflu whenever he's sick. And I know it's like way off topic, but he's been using Theraflu for years, right? So lately it's been causing heart palpitations, which he has a heart issue. So I switched him to Corseed, and he loves it, man. He started using that the other day, and he's just tickled about my medication. Why? I turned you off. Can you shut up, please? Sorry. My notifications are going off on my computer. But yeah, so hopefully he will feel better. And if he continues to have any type of congestion, I am going to go Vicks Vapor Rub after that. Tony Collins, alrighty, now let us ring the bell for LaBelle. I was trying to get back down to your comment because I did see you had a Black Friday special as well, and I wanted to let you know of my jealousy just a little bit before we rang the bell. But we're now going to ring the bell for Miss Tony Collins and LaBelle. Thank you. Congratulations on your baby. Your PE 800, right? Congratulations. I look forward to seeing all the wonderful projects that you and Miss LaBelle are going to crank out from now on. And hopefully make tons and tons of money, right? Alrighty. Brenda Scott. So it would be a higher quality product versus vinyl? I believe so. I personally believe so. And the reason why I say that is, okay, for instance, with the mugs, all right, you don't have to worry about it coming off in the dishwasher. Whereas with vinyl, they suggest that you don't dishwash it. All right, you can, and people have done it, but over time, the vinyl will come off. Same with t-shirts. Vinyl has a tendency to crack and fade over time. It really does. Just take a look at some of your older t-shirts that may have had vinyl on it and how it can crack and peel over time with a lot of washing and drying, especially. It lasts a lot longer if you just wash your shirt in like warm to cold water tap temperature water and not dry it, like lay it flat to dry. But with sublimation, it's not like that. And sublimation can be just absolutely gorgeous in a lot of ways, because it has a tendency to be imprinted into the shirt, and you don't have to worry about it peeling off. Now, with sublimation versus direct to garment, however, I found that direct to garment, which is printing directly on the shirt, like shooting ink, just like you would put a piece of paper in the printer and print on a piece of paper. That's what direct to garment is. Now, that tends to be a lot more vibrant and bright than sublimation. All right, so there's a couple of different options that are out there for the garment, designing process, whether it be embroidery, whether it's vinyl, whether it's sublimation, whether it's direct to garment, whether it's heat transfer, image. So there's a lot of different options that are out there now, you guys, and they all have different price ranges. Sublimation and direct to garment tend to be on the higher end of the spectrum, whereas vinyl is kind of like the lowest for the most part, and then your embroidery and bling, of course, is somewhere mid-range depending upon how the process is being done and what garment you're putting it on. So there's a lot of different options that are out there, but it is expensive. It is very expensive. Will says mugs and coasters. That's right. I do have coasters here as well that he's done. This was sublimated. This is Sir McQuacken's, of course, on a thirsty coaster. I love these coasters, man. They absorb a lot of liquid. I do a lot of drink with ice, and when the condensation comes on the glass, this absorbs every bit of it. I don't have condensation or the glass ring on my tabletop. So those are sublimated. Little Miss Boutique says she loves sublimation. That's right, you do it as well. Brenda Scott, you cannot sublimate on any surface. It has to be something that is made for sublimation. So that also adds to the expense, right? So you can't just pick up anything from any store, and so your options are going to be limited as to where you can get sublimatable blanks from, right? So that adds to the cost as well. Will, you do have some videos already on the channel, so that's awesome. Those are available if you would like to see. Barbara Nance, question: if your hoop is 5x7 but it measures 6x8, can I use a bigger design if I run the layout run and it fits in the hoop? Okay. If your hoop is 5x7 but it measures 6x8, you mean the actual hoop itself? Okay. If I'm understanding your question correctly, the answer is no. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm understanding your question correctly. So this is a mighty hoop for my big machine back there in the back, and this particular mighty hoop embroiders a surface of 8x13. I don't know how well you can see that right there. See, 8x13 mighty hoop. All right, but the hoop itself doesn't measure 8x13. The hoop itself, the opening measures, actually it does measure about 13. Hold on. No, that's not quite 13. And what is this one? Not quite 8 and not quite 13. Okay. Now, I'm saying that to say, with the brother especially, you can only go, even though the hoop itself, the diameter is 8 by 13, your actual embroidery area is a lot smaller. Just like with the 4 by 4 hoop, on the brother smaller, the 4 by 4 machines, the actual embroidery area is 100 by 100 millimeters. Okay, but the 4 by 4 is imperial. That's the 4 inches by 4 inches. Instead of using millimeters, we use inches here in the US, so it throws it off. It's technically not 4 inches. 100 millimeters, I hope I'm saying that correct. And 10 centimeters, 100 millimeters, they are not right at 4 inches. Let me see how, what is it actually? It's like, where's 100? So here's 100 on the back side, but when you flip it over to the front, look at where the mark for 4 inches is and where my thumbnail is. It's just not right. It's right at 4 inches, but it's not quite. So your measurement, you can't use a 6 by 8 design if your hoop is 5 by 7. Now, if you do multi-hooping, then yes, you can. Alright, so there's repositional hoops. Well, no, even with a repositional hoop, you can't do 6 by 8 because with your machine, that 5 inches is your limitation. So if the design was 4 by 8, you could use a repositional hoop. But if it was 5 by 8, you could use a repositional hoop. But because it's over 5 inches, you cannot use that design. Ms. Bickham says there is an FDC removable vinyl that is widely used to put the lettering on walls. FDC removable vinyl. I know Cricut sells one that's removable that you can cut out, you know, like the whimsical words that people put on the wall. Yes, that is absolutely correct. April says, yes, I received it and have used it, but I haven't named it yet. Oh, man. All right, so we need to ring the bell for Miss April's baby. Let me go back up and see what you have. 600, SE 600. Alrighty, Miss April. Are you guys ready to ring the bell and congratulate Miss April on her SE? Was it SE 600? Lord, I just forgot that quick. You know I'm getting old, right? Brother SE 600. I did read that correct. So, April, congratulations on your SE 600, ma'am. Congratulations. I am looking forward to your baby's name on your SE 600. Congratulations. Alrighty, you guys. Somebody says hello to the Baby's Booty family. Let's see who that was. That was Miss Latasha. Thank you for joining us. Joanne says hello, hello with the mama and the papa claw sitting in her emojis. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Barbara Guthrie says good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late. You're okay. Hope everyone gets better soon. April asked, what is a tension test? A tension test is something that I suggest that most people do if you're ever having issues with a stitch out, with your machine stitching correctly. All right, there are like a stick, a letter I or a letter E. It actually doesn't matter what letter you use, but do 3 or 4 of the exact same letter. Stitch it out, see if it stitches correctly. If it doesn't, then adjust your tension up or down depending upon how it looks on the back. All right, so there are instructions out there. I do have a video that's specifically on checking the tension on your machine. So if you go to do a search on YouTube, search the Baby's Booty tension, and it should pull the video up, and it'll explain all of that to you on how to do a tension test. Excuse me, to make sure that your machine is stitching the way it's supposed to. All right. Jane Sublet says, if you've already made a minor mess, you can use a tiny bit of Sharpie marker, permanent of course. Now, are you talking about with embroidery? You definitely can. I prefer to suggest the fabric markers. There are fabric markers that you can purchase that are less likely to bleed when it's washed, whereas a lot of times the Sharpie will. But you can use that as well. Joanne Ginyard says, thank you for the reply back so fast. I bought the SE625, getting supplies from list some cake today, and you can't wait. Well, congratulations on your SE625. Have you received it already? Please let me know so that we can ring the bell. Miss Bickup says, someone in the Baby's Booty Showcase has pictures of a Christmas tree that holds the Grinch and a snowman in there. My grands are begging me to find them. Please share where she can find them. Please do that. Thank you. Barbara Nett says, second question, does it make a difference if I use the top embroidery thread in the bobbin for a design? For example, a small heart that I want to do in a bear. No, you can use the top embroidery thread in your bobbin. I do it all the time, especially for freestanding lace. It will not damage the machine. Check your manual to be sure, but I haven't had or don't know of anyone that has had an issue putting regular embroidery thread in their bobbin. So the 40 weight embroidery thread in the top can be used in your bobbin below, especially for freestanding lace. It makes gorgeous freestanding lace in your embroidery machine. So yes, you can do that. Maria says, I hadn't had a problem prior to this item. Okay, I rethreaded the machine, put in a fresh bobbin, new needle, even adjusted the tension, which I don't like to do. Tearaway stabilizer. What are you embroidering on? I don't remember you saying what you were embroidering. What are you embroidering on? Like, is it a shirt? Is it a blanket? Is it a what are you embroidering on? Joanne says, getting supplies from your Amazon list. Oh my gosh, some came in today. No problem with the errors. Well, awesome. Thank you for shopping the Amazon list. I really appreciate that. That definitely does help. And to everyone else, if there are any supplies that you're looking for, I do have a handy list. The link is in the description below, where you can find some of the more common things that you can use in your embroidery studio. Everything on that list I have used at some point in time in my embroidery studio, and that is why it is on the list. And also, any of your purchases on my affiliate list also allow me to make a small percentage of the sale. Your price doesn't change one way or the other, but if you would like to, the link is in the description below. So thank you very much, Miss Joanne, for purchasing from the list. Maria, she says, tell your husband that I love Cora Seed and HBP too. It was wonders to me. I also like Airborne. I didn't get the Airborne because I was like, you're already sick, so I left that off. But I used it before because I have high blood pressure, so it worked good for him, and I'm just really glad that it did, because I don't like to hear when he has heart issues. Ms. Bickham says, remember when we were kids and Mom used to rub Vicks on our chest to help clear our lungs from congestion? Yes. Ms. Barbara says, it's not as strong as it used to be. I know, right? And then they took it off the market for a while because people's kids were eating it. I'm like, oh my God. Why? Velma Crisp, One of a Kind Sewing. Hello. Sorry I'm late. Just got home. What did you miss? Not a thing. We are just doing some definite just question and answer, general discussion. I did bring up the subject of what did you add in 2018 that you definitely appreciate using in your studio, or it was a new concept to you and you'd like to share that with the group. That's awesome. That's what we were looking for this evening. If you have that, if you don't, it's okay. We're still just answering questions back and forth and having an awesome discussion. Miss So-On says, Miss Eve, if you don't mind, how did you get started in embroidery? Sorry if you have already answered this before. I don't have a problem answering that. I pretty much, I love to sew. I've always loved to sew. My mom sewed. I had a cousin that did, and it was intriguing to me. And then I have a very, very dear friend who taught me how to sew, but the way she taught me was doing upholstery and window treatments, right? So I started out doing that, and then I learned how to do bags, like purses and pocketbooks and things like that, totes and such. I wanted to get into clothing. When I tried, it was terrible. I took a pattern, but because I am super impatient and was super excited, I didn't follow all of the directions like I was supposed to. I didn't know what interfacing was. Of course, there weren't very many videos at that point in time to show how to do things, so I had to read the instructions, and that didn't go over too well. And I didn't know going against the grain and all of that jazz. And so I bought a pattern. Didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of had the concept, but didn't know exactly what to do. Had the wrong kind of fabric. Didn't matter. It was beautiful purple fabric. That's my favorite color. And I went to make a dress, and it ended up looking like Barney in a tent, basically. And I was like, okay, that's it. Not sewing any more clothing. But fast forward a little ways, it was a Black Friday about 5 years ago, I think, and Walmart had an embroidery machine. The PE 500 was on Black Friday sale, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna try to do embroidery. Right? Didn't know the first thing about it, other than I knew what it was. I just didn't know how to do it. So I bought the machine. It sat in my room for 6 months untouched in the box. All right. So that's why I don't really rag people too much when it's still in a box. But it sat in the box. I was very intimidated. I didn't know where to even begin. So after 6 months, I pulled it out and tried to embroider on some washcloths, right? And didn't know anything about stabilizer, didn't know anything about hooping. Watched a video or two, which was confusing because they were skipping things. And when I tried to embroider on it, it turned out in horrible trash. It really did. And I was so devastated, I put it back in the box and didn't open it for another 6 months. All right. So one day I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm going to learn how to do this, because a friend had just had a baby. And I said, it would be really cute to put the baby's name on the onesie, right? Of course, I would start with onesie, the most difficult thing to do. So I watched a few videos, and then I was like, okay, no one is starting from the beginning and through to the end. It's not making sense. It wasn't coming together. I found a couple of groups. I was asking questions, and people were like not wanting to tell me anything, or was getting irritated because I was asking questions. And I said, well, you know what? Forget this. So I took the time, and I really went and watched video after video after video, and I put a lot of that information all together. And in doing so, that's how I learned how to do embroidery. And when I finally got it, I was like, this is how this works. And so I made the onesies. They turned out gorgeous. And then I felt like it was important to share the information that I knew to make it easier on other people, because I knew I wasn't the only one that was out there struggling, and I wasn't the only one out there that was getting frustrated at those videos that weren't really spelling it out for people like me, you know, like the sewing for dummies or the such and such for dummies. I was like, okay, see, I'm a dummy. I need the dumb version, right? Where I don't even know what stabilizer is. So can we start there first type situation? And so that's how I got started in it. And that's, you know, pretty much what started the YouTube channel as well. But that's, for the most part, the main story. And go from there. It's blown up into a whole huge family that I never ever in a million years expected to come about. But I am ecstatic for every last one of you. It's been a wonderful journey, and I appreciate you guys joining me on it. And I definitely appreciate the love that I get on a regular basis from everyone. So it's been a lot of fun. Angel Monroe, yes, this is a awesome hoop. I love my mighty hoop. I do blankets with this mostly. Mostly blankets, jacket backs. Oh gosh, what else do I do with this thing? I do some of everything with it because it's a super easy hoop. Instead of trying to put two hoops together and making sure the screws are tight enough and making sure the stabilizer is just so, you know, I pretty much just, I know this is like not the whole piece of stabilizer, but pretty much take the stabilizer, lay it on the mighty hoop just like this, and I'm gonna try not to smash my fingers because the magnets on this thing is super strong. And then you pretty much just let that thing snap together, and there's your hooped stabilizer. And you, of course, you want to put your item on top, stabilizer your fabric, and that's how you hoop your project with your mighty hoop. I absolutely love my mighty hoop, right? So this thing is one of my main hoops that I use here in the studio. Went to go purchase another one, 5x5, or was it, yeah, 5x5. I went to purchase the 5x5 and then couldn't decide whether the 5x5 or the 6x6, and so I just said I'll figure that out later. So I didn't end up getting either one just yet, but we're going to be adding to those mighty hoops. Barbernette says, sorry, I should have said an opening area. It does measure 6x8. It can measure 6x8, but if your machine has a restriction of 5x7, it doesn't matter what size the opening is. You will have to stick with that 5x7. The only exception you can do aside from that is with the repositional hoop. And the repositional hoop is basically a hoop that you can move on the machine without unhooping your project, right? So it has extra ports, extra studs on the side that you can move your hoop along in one way or the other, right? And that allows you to embroider a larger field, but the design has to be broken up. So there's a catch to that. But I do have a video on repositional hoops and how they work. You can look that one up as well by doing a search for the Baby's Booty repositional hoop, and it should pull up. But there's a science to the repositional hoop. But if you're doing simple designs, like the design itself is within the 5x7, but you want to add a name that's longer than that, then the repositional hoop is excellent for that. But if you have a design that's just bigger, you can do it, but it's a lot more difficult. I don't know how to explain it a little bit better, but we do need to get a video on that together soon. But, you know, thank you, Barbara Scott. It's 3.94. Okay. 3.94 is 100 millimeters, but ironically, you technically can't even embroider 3.94. It's actually less than that, you know, so it's not a true 3.94. You have to go, I think it's like 3.85 or something like that, and less is what you actually embroider on the machine. All right. Miss Bickup says, thank you to Miss Marianne, so we're going to skip that. Jane Sublet, when you Sharpie for commerce, but for a Christmas gift, try it and see if it helps. It very well could, but definitely not commerce. Definitely not. Thanks for using the suggestion of a Sharpie. I forgot about that. It can work. Sometimes it'll backfire, so just be careful. Miss Ethel Smith, hello. Good evening to you as well. Let's see what time we got. Wow, it is going on 9 o'clock already, y'all. Oh my goodness, I did not realize it. Maria says pot holders. Okay, so it shouldn't. You did say pot holders. Getting old. You should not have any issues at all. I'm not understanding right off the top of my head why your bobbin thread will be showing. If it's threaded correctly, if your bobbin's in correctly, it could be a bobbin issue. If you haven't tried a new bobbin, I think you said you did, and you tried a new needle, you should not be having issues with your and tearaway stabilizer is fine, and you actually could float it, and it shouldn't be causing you problems. So you are using a larger needle, possibly the 90-14 instead of the 75 sharp. See if what size is your needle, but even then it shouldn't be causing you those type problems. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll have to, I'm gonna tell you what I generally do when I start having tension issues. I'll start a checklist and go down that checklist of the different things, just like you saw me outline for you. And then what I'll do is take that project and do something different and see if I'm still having those same issues, because there's variables there that could, like for instance, embroidering on a onesie, you're going to have issues if you don't have the ballpoint needle versus the sharp, right? So there's variables there that you have to keep in mind that could cause the tension to be thrown off. And it's a thicker material, that pot holder is, but you still shouldn't be having tension issues. Your bobbin thread shouldn't be showing. So we'll have to look into that. But that's what the tension test is for, is to make sure that it's not necessarily your bobbin case that is causing the problem. Eddie Jr. says, if you need a tension test design on the Madeira USA site, it does, under services and specialty test designs. That is true. Tony Collins says, for the Grinch and Frosty Nana's Handmade Baby, I think there is now a link in the thread. Sweet. Terry Ponce, hello, hello. Hi, Terry Ponce. I was just looking at your baby. Your picture. April says, my parents used to feed me Vicks when I was sick. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're I'm glad you're okay, because that was causing a problem here lately. People were eating it and they were like, pull that off the shelf. Miss Social Deb, I added a brother scan and cut this year. Still learning and fun too. I did as well, as you know. So the brother scan and cut is an awesome addition, especially for what I'm looking forward to using it for is my, wow, why did I yawn? Because I'm tired. I was up all night. That's right. Especially for my key fobs and my hand sanitizer holders. So I'm looking forward to that. Hi, Miss Cindy. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Joanne says, yes, I have it all set up. Pack your bags. I'm coming to get you for after the snow goes away. Thank you for sharing and helping us have a blessed night. Thank you very much. Oh, man, Maria says, you used to have to eat the Vicks too? Oh, my gosh. I don't remember Mom making me eat Vicks. So, I don't know. Now, I have had some crazy stuff, right? What's the name of that one medicine? It was so gross. It was like a number. It was like 851 or something crazy. I remember having to drink that crap. But otherwise, what's the name of that stuff, y'all? It starts with a C, if I'm not mistaken. Castor oil. Used to have to drink that trash. To this day, I can't stand the smell of that. Carol Coleman. Hi, Carol Coleman. How are you? How are the girls? Tell everybody I said hi. Pickup says, I matched the bobbin thread with the towel color. Yes. And when possible, and doing embroidery on them. It keeps the embroidery from standing out on the backside. Boutiques really appreciate this extra step. Yes, I am a stickler for that myself. Velma Crisp says, in 2019, I plan on getting better at working on your embroidery machine and making more embroidery items. Trying to back off making quilt tops. My sister-in-law is a long arm quilter. That is what's up. I considered getting into quilting. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yes, please. Thank you, Marianne Reddick. If you do enjoy the live, please give us a thumbs up. I do appreciate you guys coming in and joining us this evening. It's just awesome to have everyone in here and interacting. That's what makes this really fun. And I know I get backed up in the chat sometimes, but I definitely appreciate you all taking the time to converse with me. I come in here for you all, not for myself. Angel, you asked what machine do I use that hoop on? The machine is right there. It is a PR 655. It's a 6-needle brother embroidery machine. That machine uses the Mighty Hoop. And the biggest that I can do on that machine is the 8x13. So I don't have a repositional hoop for that. I hear there is one, but I don't have one. Maria says, can she reduce the size of the design? She possibly can. She possibly can, to allow it to fit the 5x7. However, I would caution reducing it but so big, because sometimes that can distort the stitching and cause it to not stitch out properly. But she should be able to with the correct software. Maria says, when I bought my first embroidery machine, there weren't any videos at all. I just hung out at the Bernina store a lot. I have learned so much more watching your video along with other sites. Thank you very much. Yes, the lack of videos was very discouraging in the beginning. There were quite a few out there, but just to give some general information, there was very few. So I'm really glad that for those who are jumping on the bandwagon with me and putting information out there for everyone to learn the best that they can with embroidery. Angel Monroe, what is a good repositional hoop for the SE400? I have that in the Amazon list. That's in the list below. I have the repositional hoop for the 4x4 machine and the repositional hoop for the 5x7 machine. If you have the 4x4 machine, you cannot use the 5x7 repositional hoop. You can only use the one that's it's gonna say 5x7, but it's not a 5x7 hoop. It's actually a 4x6.7 something repositional hoop. That's the size that it will actually give you, and all of that should be in the description in the Amazon listing. If not, I know it's in the questions that people ask with the thing. But if anyone says it's 5x7, that is a lie. That is not correct at all. That machine can only do 4 inches one way or the other. It can't go to 5. Maria says, I use a 7512. Maybe I'll try using a larger needle or a ballpoint. You wouldn't use a ballpoint needle with that oven mitt, but you would use a larger eye needle. See if that helps. The 9014, and it should make a difference. We're learning that's the best needle for embroidery anyway. So switch to the 9014. Bunny McMillan says, Eve, I'm going to need an electronic cutter for your key fobs and sanitizer holders. Also, how and what is the purpose of Sew What Pro? Electronic cutter? You don't have to have the electronic cutter. It makes it a lot easier, but you don't have to have one. But the purpose of Sew What Pro is for embroidery. So what I found initially when I got into embroidery, that there are a lot of designs available for purchase out there, right? So you can go to many different websites. Like my absolute favorite website to purchase designs is embroiderylibrary.com or emblibrary.com, right? They have gorgeous designs, and once a week they have a sale for a whole week on new designs and some of their older designs that you can purchase, and they're like $1.59 or something like that each. Well, what I found is there were some super cute designs, right? But you couldn't really personalize them, or there was a design with say for instance there was a design of a dog, you know, maybe flying a kite. Well, I didn't want a kite, I wanted a balloon. So with Sew What Pro, you can actually take a design and edit it. You can take parts off, you can delete stitches, you can add a name down at the bottom. You can add, like, if you wanted 2 dogs flying a kite in the same embroidery design, you could duplicate them and add 2 of one in the same thing and save it as a whole new file and then stitch that out. I mean, it's a whole lot of different things you can do with an embroidery editing program, and that's what Sew What Pro is for. It allows you to edit and customize an existing embroidery design, right? So that's what it's for. I absolutely love it. There are other programs out there that will let you do that. Those programs generally run hundreds and up, whereas Sew What Pro was $65. And for someone who was starting out embroidery on a very tight budget, very extremely limited budget, where it took me, I want to say 3-4 months to actually get to the place where I could afford to purchase Sew What Pro at that time. Sew What Pro is a wonderful program, and for a small embroidery person, I proclaim that software program from the top to the mountains for someone who is starting out. So that is the purpose of Sew What Pro. Julie says, sorry I'm late, good to see you. Well, good to see you too. Thank you for joining us here this evening at the Baby's Booty Studios. Pamela says, I never ate it, but sure had it rubbed all. Yeah, Mama rubbed it on my chest, definitely. Dorothy Gaston says, Miss Eve, can you do a tutorial on your scan and cut key fob? Well, we definitely can work on that. I haven't actually been able to do one yet. I know I can, but I haven't had the time. I've been slammed. So, you guys, 2019 is going to be your year, right? It's going to be for you. You guys completely. So, I have declared from the rooftops to everyone within a hearing reach that the 2019 year is no longer going to be available for vinyl. I won't be doing vinyl anymore. It won't be available for a lot of small embroidery projects. I'm only going to retain a select few of my embroidery customers that I do on a regular basis. Bling is going to be there. We're going to keep bling. And And if someone wants bling any type, we're definitely going to service bling, because my aunties like to do bling as well. So whenever there's a bling project that needs to be done, they're more than happy to step up to the plate. And it doesn't take very much to do. So that will clear my schedule to allow me to make more videos, to make more tutorials, and it also clears my schedule for travel, which is really cool. We found a national chain that's going to allow me to use classroom space, so I'm super excited about that. We've been putting together a plan and a schedule to come and meet up with you guys at a city near you. So please be on the lookout for that schedule. If you don't have direct contact with me, join up at the I prefer the babiesbooty.com hoop group website, and I will be posting there the upcoming schedule. So I'm really excited about that, and I appreciate my sponsor that's going to be helping us out with classroom space. I thought that was really cool. So that's going to come down the pipes really soon. We have a list of cities. Now, of course, the warmer it gets, the more travel we'll be able to do. Starting out, I won't be going very far. So January, February, and March will be a little bit limited because, of course, inclement weather in this part of the country is a big problem. And also, I need to make sure that travel is something that we'll be able to do. Because what we're looking at doing is having a... not a retreat, so to speak, but have a stitch along, where if you have a machine like the 4x4 or the 5x7, the PE 770 or the PE 800 or the SE 400 or 425, something like that, you can bring it with you, and we'll have an embroidery project to do together. So I'm super excited about that. And of course, unfortunately, because it is travel, there'll be a small fee involved. But it's a classroom, and you have some gifts to take home with you to make it totally worth your time and energy to come and hang out with me and do some embroidery together. So I'm super excited. I can't say that enough for what we got coming up for the 2019 year. But it's going to be the year for the Babies Booty crew and for the hoop group. So I'm excited, and bonus perks if you wear your hoop group shirt to the meetup. So looking forward to that. But yes, we have a lot going on, and definitely going to be able to add to our videos. So Scan and Cut hopefully will join the ranks. A few of those. Now I do have a fellow YouTuber who I refer with and we collaborate with. That's the word I'm trying to get to. Where she does a lot of Scan and Cut, and she also does sew art. So I'll leave the bulk of the Scan and Cut videos to her, but yes, we can do a couple of them for the key fobs and for the hand sanitizer holders. Miss Bickham says Rhinestones and HTV have been added to my echelon this year. I was introduced by a wonderful friend to doing rhinestones earlier this year. Now I'm addicted. Thanks, and you know who you are. I don't know who that would be. I wouldn't get anybody addicted on rhinestones, so that couldn't have been me. Janet McKinney, hello girls. Sorry I'm late. Well, welcome, Miss Janet McKinney. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Barbara Guthrie says, on a previous session you mentioned a program to organize your designs. Mine are such a mess. So many books to so many categories. The program that I use is Sew Cat. Alright, so Sew What Pro has a sister program. In addition to Sew Art, which is Sew What Pro's digitizing companion, we also have Sew Cat for like catalog, right? So Sew Cat will allow you to organize your embroidery files by category. And you can organize them in such a way where your embroidery files stay exactly where they are. They don't move, but you can pull up Sew Cat and access them based on your categories, or you can use Sew Cat to actually move your embroidery files into certain categories and into certain files and have them arranged in a different location than where they originally are. You can move stuff around. So there's a couple of ways to use the program, which is why I like it so much. Now, you got to take the time to actually organize your stuff in those categories. It doesn't do it automatically. So that takes time, and you'll have to dedicate probably like a good weekend, some coffee, some good jazz music or something to sit back and organize your embroidery files and find all those embroidery files you forgot you purchased and put them in categories to make it easier for you to pull them up at a later date when you need them. So that is the program that I use. Barbara Guthrie says, do you sell this item in your store and the price? I want to buy the Sew It Pro, but I need to wait a bit. Sew It Pro is available. I am an authorized reseller at thebabiesbooty.com. Sew It Pro is available on our website. All of the whole suite, the Sew It Pro, the Sew Art, the Sew Cat, the Sew Icons, all of that is available for purchase on our website. The price on our website is the exact same as it is on the main website at $65 for Sew It Pro. But if you need to wait, that's not a problem. It's there. It's not going anywhere. And I will continue to push that program until my last breath, because it meant that much to me. It really did. Terry Simple says, hello everyone, I'm late and sorry I got caught up in a doll dress you're working on. Awesome. Little dollies get to be pretty too. I appreciate that. Jane Sublet said, your video on needles is very helpful. I looked at it several times. Well, I'm glad it was helpful, because Lord knows it messed up on me at the end, and that thing had me heated. I was kind of frustrated about that thing, but I'm glad it was very helpful to you. Let me see. Velma Chris says, not sure if I should ask, but is $7 a good price for a hand sanitizer holder? Yes, it is. It sure is. There's nothing wrong with that. It is nothing wrong with that, especially if it comes with hand sanitizer. You know, if you throw that in, definitely $7. I know people that sell it for $10. Miss Bickham says $20 up or 20% up or down on resizing, but make sure that your software will adjust the stitches and density and all as it resizes. As Eve says, the right software makes the difference. Definitely, definitely. And Angel says you use the 9014 for the towels with a great difference. Yeah, so love Sew It Pro. Use Embroidery Library too. And Maria says Embroidery Library has beautiful designs. They definitely do. Velma Crisp says, has anyone sold any bookmarks on 4x4 hoop from Designs by Little B? If so, how much did you sell them for? I haven't sold them. I don't sell the bookmarks, but if anyone else in here has, please let Miss Velma Crisp know how much you sold them for, and we'll love Sew It Pro as well. Miss Phenomenal Creations, hello, hello, good evening. I'm so late, it's all right. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to join us here, so thank you for being here. Let us see. Angel says, thanks Eddie Jr., thanks to Eve, I purchased Sew It Pro. Awesome. I'm glad y'all got it. Karen Walker, hi, welcome. I'm glad you're appreciating being here. We are happy to have you here. That's what's up. Thank you, Miss Bickham. That was a big decision, very, very big decision, and Mr. Otis was on board. I was very surprised about that. And he's looking forward to traveling with me. So how cool is that? He looks forward to meeting everyone as well. So we're excited, and we're looking forward to, now I'm going to have to work around his schedule. So that's why the schedule is going to be a little sparse when y'all see it initially as we get it going, and trying to see if we can get the schedule up and going. I actually have a space on my website already for event tickets. It just hasn't been put live yet because I have to get my schedule. But once the schedule is there, you'll be able to buy tickets. I'm just like so excited because I've been selling tickets for bling parties on there already. So now we'll get to add our meet and greet and our sew along, stitch along process as well. So I'm super excited. Karen Walker says, when you come to Pittsburgh, I'll be there. Awesome. Looking forward to coming to Philly and Pittsburgh, and oh my gosh, all up north. I'm so excited, y'all. I don't know. I'm a little nervous because I'm like, oh man, who really wants to be there? So I'm excited. And if you have a suggestion, or if you really are, you know, like, please come here, drop it in the comments, send me an email, put it in the hoop group, and I'll definitely take it into consideration. I do have my first couple of months of cities already lined out Weather permitting, we'll be doing that. I kind of want to wait till March to be sure that all snow is passed, because what I don't like is to schedule to go do something and then weather stops it and then have to reschedule and folks done paid. It's just, which I have no problem refunding, but it's just like, I don't want to go through that. So I want it to be right. I want everything to be just so. So that's why we're trying to make sure, and I'm seriously thinking about waiting for March, but I don't know. I'm kind of ready to get into it. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I may go ahead and do it. So we'll see. Miss Phenomenal Creations asks, does Sew What Pro do digitizing? No, it does not. If so, if not, can you refer an affordable software that does digitizing? Affordable is an interesting question when it comes to digitizing. The most affordable software out there would be Sew Art. Sew Art is a digitizing program. Clever Dog Creations, which is the collaborator I was speaking of earlier, she has excellent videos on how to digitize with Sew Art. She does it quite frequently. She digitizes photos. She digitizes, simple designs and the whole nine, actually. So you may want to check her out before you purchase the software. And the name of her channel, again, is Clever Dog Designs. And then when you're ready, Sew Art is $75. And that's in comparison to the program that I use on a regular basis is Willcom Hatch, and Willcom Hatch is $1,000, and most of your digitizing software is all run in that price range. So Sew Art is definitely the most affordable that's out there for digitizing, and you may want to give them a shot. They do have a trial, and that is on the website as well. You just download either the Windows or the Mac version, whichever one applies to you, and it's a limited trial, but you can still give it a shot and see how it works. Let me see. Diana Henderson, excited for the classes. Oh man, Miss Ethel Smith, cool. I'm excited for y'all too. Y'all just, I'm just like a ball of nerves, so that's why I really haven't said very much about it up until now. But there'll be more information coming out as time comes along. Pamela says, I get overwhelmed when I'm trying to buy stabilizers. Too many choices. Well, it is a lot of choices. There are a lot of options. All right. But one thing I've learned is you match your stabilizer to your design. All right. First and foremost, you match it to the design, but then you also have to match it to your project. So if you're embroidering on something you're going to wear or wash a lot, with the exception of towels, you would use cutaway. If you wear it, you don't tear it. Just always remember that. If you wear it, you don't tear it. You don't tear your clothes, right? So if you wear it, you don't tear it. So you want to use cutaway stabilizer. If it's a lightweight design, such as like a red work or just something not a whole lot of stitches, then you can use mesh cutaway stabilizer. It's really lightweight. It doesn't show behind the t-shirt. So that's a really good one. But if it's like a sweatshirt and or a lot of stitches, then you want to bump up the weight of your stabilizer. So you want to go with a little bit thicker of a stabilizer, a more sturdy stabilizer. And that's a problem actually that I had with these jackets here. When I first started doing the embroidery on them, I was like, the embroidery was trash, y'all. I could not believe how trashy the embroidery was, right? Well, what I eventually found out was this is a new type, a new brand of jacket that this team went with. This is not the same jackets that they had last year. And this jacket was so much thinner, and it's more like a sweatshirt than, you know, the other jacket, which was a whole lot thicker and sturdier. So I had to beef up my stabilizer because this is a lot of stitches in the word here. So I was like, okay, well, once I switched to a thicker stabilizer and to a ballpoint needle, because this material does have a little bit of a stretch to it, not a whole lot, but it was enough to where it was causing a problem with just your regular needle. So once I beefed up the stabilizer, huge difference. Huge difference, you know. So your stabilizer does make a big difference, right? So other things that you're going to do temporarily, Towels, I tend to use tearaway stabilizer on that. It's not recommended by a lot of the experts, but I do. All right, I don't necessarily have to have a super thick tearaway, but I do prefer a little bit beefier tearaway than just like the thin wispy stuff. Because the thin wispy stuff isn't going to be sturdy enough to handle all those stitches. All right, so you have to keep that type stuff in mind. And we'll be doing a video on stabilizers, a live discussion on stabilizers soon. I just needed to finish out some information and to make sure, because there's a lot of conflicting information out there, and I want to make sure that I've tried everything myself and seeing the results myself before we actually do a video on it, because I don't like to do a video based on what somebody else says unless it just makes all the sense in the world, you know. So definitely. Phoenix Dinkins, thank you for subscribing to our channel. I really appreciate that. But yes, stabilizers can get on your nerves. Maria says, have you tried contacting Jeff's Sew and Vac here in Augusta, Georgia? They have a classroom that he may let you do a class or a meetup. He sells baby lock and brother machines. No, I haven't. But I will check him out. 9 times out of 10, though, in Augusta, the other company has a location there near you. Because they are nationwide, so I'm super excited. Once we get our locations locked down of where all will be going, then I'll know for sure who to reach out for. And some of you guys, I may say, hey, do you live in this area? And then check with you to find out what's available in your area, if in case this other company is not there. But so far, everywhere that I've looked, they have a place where I can use a classroom. Bunny McMillan says, sign me up. I used to do a cake camp in Las Vegas for cake decorators from all over. There were individual teachers teaching different techniques and mediums. It was held every other year. Now that sounds like fun. I don't know that I would be able to do that. I'd be too busy trying to eat the stuff and knowing my sugar is like, you know better. I'm trying to do better with that though. Anyways. Miss Gail Kingsbury says, I need to go. Thank you, even everyone, for sharing. Good night. You have a good night, too. And I know my hubby is over there with ants in his pants because I'm not back home yet. And I know he's worried. He was like, don't you be over there all night. And I'm like, we all know that you're sick and that you need somebody to come and take care of you. So I'll be home soon. So I'll be headed out here shortly. We won't be too much longer at all. Let me see. Yep, 9:30 is probably about where I'll end it. Eddie Jr. says, goodness, I think I need that SoulCat program. I enjoy the SoulCat program. It's helped a lot. So the only thing is you have to stay on top of it, you guys. You have to, right? You can't get your stuff organized and then buy new designs and forget to get them organized along with the other ones, right? Because I've done that, and then so you have to take a whole nother weekend off to organize the ones that you just bought, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get it done, and then you still don't get it done. Kitty Caromy, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. So yeah, definitely make sure you stay on top of it. Janet McKinney, I did say that I use tearaway on towels. It's not the preferred method for the professionals. I'm letting you know that now. It is not, because you wash towels regularly. Wash. So technically it should be cutaway. But I use tearaway and I haven't had any issues with my towels yet. So that's just, you know, if you're going to do it, definitely check and see what your results are and go with what works the best for you. Eddie Jr. says, cut away from most stuff, water soluble topper for some stuff so stitches don't sink as much, and tear away for other stuff. That's pretty general. I like it though. If it works, it works. Caroline Threadplay says you sell your hand sanitizers for about $4. Okay, so different folks have different price ranges, and it also depends on your area too. You know, up north of New Yorkish area, they're going to sell for a lot more than they would be down here in the South, where we're kind of El Cheapo. We like to not pay a lot for stuff. Terry Ponce, Embroidery Online, has beautiful embroidery designs for $1 right now. Well, thank you for that tip. I appreciate it. Eddie Jr., anyone know how to get a font set that is in individual PES format into the unified BX format? No, I don't know how to do that. BX is the official name for Embrilliance, because that's an Embrilliance program extension, so to speak. So BX is mainly used by Embrilliance. However, So What Pro now has a way of mapping your individual fonts to be able to use the keyboard similar to BX, and I have yet to do that successfully myself because I prefer the old method. But Embrilliance does have a program that you can use for free to type out your stuff with the BX format. So you may want to look into that as well. But I don't know how to switch it over to the Embrilliance format. April says, I will be there if you come to New York. Girl, I love New York. So 9 times out of 10, I'll be there. Terry Sample says, come to Florida, no snow here. I know, right? I am definitely headed to Florida. I have several places in Florida that I have to go to. And that's because of family more so than for classes. So I might as well go there for that too. Miss Phenomenal Creations, you're welcome. Thank you for asking your question. Contessa says, come to Louisiana. You're ready for the classes? All right. Well, we'll definitely add that in. Please make sure that you let me know what city. Maria says, I really like the poly mesh cutaway on your t-shirts. Yes, it's perfect for the t-shirts unless you're using a design that's stitch heavy. You can't use it with that type stuff because it kind of like folds up that poly mesh, and it was like horrible embroidery. So poly mesh is very good. Karen Walker, I'm excited with you. I'm opening up my box for my Innovis NS1150E. Don't know what I'm going to name it just yet. Well, Miss Karen Walker, we need to ring the bell for your new baby. The Innovis NS1150E will protect the kitties. Woo! Congratulations very much, Miss Karen Walker, on your Innovis baby. Please make sure to post pictures. Let us know what you name them. And we would love to see pictures of the projects that you turn out with your brand new baby. Miss Bickham says the clock on the wall says it's pampering time. Yeah. I'm sure that's the way Mr. Laurie feels right now. Skippy and I will be sitting and waiting for your stabilizer class. All right. Definitely we will do that. Maria says, just let me know if you come to Augusta, Columbia, or anywhere in the tri-state area. I sure will. Let me see. Oh, bookmarks are $4. $7 for hand sanitizers. Okay, cool. Thank you, Will. Thank you for clarifying that. Alrighty, you guys. So I appreciate you all. Tony Waldron says, hi from Australia. Love the videos. Well, thank you, Tony. I appreciate that very much. And please join us again for when we come live. I had somebody come in one of the videos and wasn't happy with my video, and he was talking about I was talking all over the place, and I'm like, well, then the video wasn't for you. That's how that goes. So we appreciate anyone who's happy to be here. Thank you all so much. So you guys, I look forward to seeing you again for next week. Oh, they're used to the bell now? Sweet. Nice. And you all, please make sure you check out the Carolina Thread box for the month of December. Super excited about it because the design was created by myself. And it helps us unify our hoop group, right? It gives you a free, well, not a free, but the design hoop as a group is included in with December's Carolina Thread box. And that will be set to go out here pretty soon. So if you haven't jumped on that bandwagon, please do. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel because we do come live every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also try to get tutorials out there on many of the popular topics for embroidery, as well as sometimes, or even our cutting machine. We do some with vinyl and many other topics for improving the actions that you have in your embroidery and sewing studio. So we look forward to sharing everything with you guys and seeing you in the hoop group. If you haven't joined up, you can enroll at thebabiesbooty.com and come be a part of the exclusive hoop group, and also order your shirt so that you can be styling like us. Even though I'm not styling it today, I'm wearing something warm right now. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys again next month. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I always love having you all here. And until the next time I see you, I hope you all have very happy embroidering. Have a good night, and we look forward to seeing you here live next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.